when I say career, it's different than a 9 to 5, right? Because you're on all the time.
Yeah.
So you're available 7 days a week, right? For clients, being able to run around, make sure you see them, and you're constantly working. So when you're not feeding your children, Ubering them, organizing your household, cleaning, cooking, you're working, right? And you have to be able to just be on when it's time to be on. So that was a different shift for me. I had to change the way that I looked at my schedule. And then I had to get over the fact that I also needed to make time for myself.
Ugh. Welcome to the Womanhood Lectures, where we bring you topics and discussions on issues that matter to you, the modern day woman. We hope to inspire, inform, and hopefully bring up some healthy debate. I'm one of your hosts, Yasmin.
And I'm Lyra. Please like, subscribe, share our content, and by all means, comment. We're open to it. We are opinionated moms, career women. We understand that not everything is going to resonate with you, but let us know. We'd be open to it. So that being said, our topic for today is about
the working woman and balancing work and family and our homes as modern day women.
Yes.
I think it's probably the most common issue that most women face right now.
Yes, and it's getting harder.
Yeah.
It's getting harder. We're finding that things are just getting really expensive, at least here in Canada.
In the States too.
Yeah, in the States too, for sure, across North America. I mean, I've seen some things floating around where, the cost of food, for example, in other parts of the world and compared to here, it's a lot more pricey.
Yeah, it's a mortgage payment, girl.
I know.
I'm not
it's very
joking.
expensive.
Like when I look at my grocery bill at the end of the week, holy cow. And then when I add it all up over the end of the month, crazy.
So I think that we are being forced to have working families. So nonetheless, both parents working, kids kind of being taken care of by the system. How do you feel like things are going to change, or what do you think has happened over, I'd say, the last, 5 decades, 6 decades?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think back to our parents. When my parents came to this country, they both had to work.
Mine too.
But at the same time, in the mid 70s, when we did come here, I would say that the Stats Canada, when I was looking at some of the stats, states that only 30% of mothers were working at that time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By the mid 90s, it was about 60%. And now the last stat was from 2022, that number's shot up to 71%. 71% of mothers are working.
Okay.
And in the States, it's the same.
And that could be working out of the home.
Yeah.
But there could be moms that work at home
There could be, absolutely. But
part-time jobs
absolutely, part-time, full-time, but they are working outside of the home.
Okay.
So that stay-at-home mom, that number is shrinking down to, 26%. So it's really flipped.
Right.
If you think about it, right? We started with like 30% of mothers were working, and now it's 70%, whereas the other 70 were staying home. And now, a few decades later, it's completely flipped, where there's only about, 26, 30% maybe.
Right.
That are staying home full time.
Yeah. So we did.
Wild to me.
It is so wild, because we had conversations about obviously being a traditional wife, and then we both are career women, and then obviously we're mothers, right? So not only wives, mothers, career women, like it's a lot. It's very inundating. So how do you balance it all? Like I know you deal with quite a bit, because you have also, your kids
there's
in
a lot
certain
of wine involved. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. There's certainly a lot of discipline involved.
Okay.
Right. Like, so I have to, and I think a lot of mothers, a lot of working women, really have to get disciplined about their time, about how they run their family. Getting organized is very, very helpful. But really, at the end of the day, I mean, I used to, like I said, I kind of burned myself out when my kids were younger. I'd say for that first 10 years of motherhood, I was really, really trying to do all of it and trying to do all of it well and trying to do all of it in heels and looking pretty and being perfect and that whole, that whole shebang. And when I finally kind of let go of the expectations that I had for myself, and I
Right.
let go of this idea that I had to show up a certain way, or that I had to prove myself in some way, that I had to prove that I was a good mother, but I also had to prove that I could balance the career with it. A lot of that inner work, when I let go of the expectations, it really opened up a lot for me. And I don't know if I changed all that much in terms of the way I run my household, but I think it lifted a lot of stress for me. So then when I showed up, I was just so much more present. I was just so much more relaxed. I was, a little less overwhelmed. Yeah. So for me, that was the big shift. Aside from the fact that once you have your first child, you start learning how to do things, right? You just learn how to juggle.
Right.
You naturally have to.
Right.
Right. And I think for me, when I stopped wanting to kind of do it at the same time and do it all amazingly, perfectly well, letting go of all of that, I realized that I can have it all, but maybe I can't have it all at the same time. Maybe, there's a level of understanding that you're going to be unbalanced for a while. You just
Yes.
accept the fact that your life is going to be unbalanced. Accept the fact that sometimes your house isn't going to look the way you want it to look.
Yeah.
Some weeks, because you have been at a dance competition all weekend. And
Right.
you haven't been home, or there might not be, all the groceries put away, or no groceries at all. Of course, you've had those nights, right? Where there's like, you're opening the fridge.
I'm like, oh man, I'm
my
a
gosh.
terrible mom. They have no food.
Yeah, they have no food. I gotta order in. And
Yes.
that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that mom guilt really sets in.
Yes.
When that happens. But really, for me, it started with my own mindset, and then it kind of spilled over into the things that I was doing and how I was managing things.
Right.
And I had to let go of a lot of stuff.
Right.
Sometimes I had to let go of maybe social engagements here and there, trying not to do everything and be everything. That's what I had to do. What about you? How do you manage it all?
You know what? I don't really know that I have my whole finger on it. Like I haven't perfected it yet, but I'm always aiming for perfection. I don't know. I'm a bit of a perfectionist in what I do. And, they say it's kind of like an obsessive behavior. I'm kind of OCD, but like I just like things my way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know my husband hates that about me, but I like things my way.
Yeah.
I like to have things organized. I like to kind of feel like things are not all over the place, chaotic. It disrupts my energy.
Yeah.
And I've learned that over the years. But when I had kids, it was a surprise. So I wasn't expecting to have them.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it was like organizing my life and being this perfect mom. I was trying to focus on being a perfect mom. And then when it came to my job at the time, I was a 9-to-5er. So worked a job, came home, and it was like I had stuff that I would do. Mm-hmm. But once you become a career person, you realize that when I say career, it's different than a 9-to-5, right? Because you're on all the time.
Yeah.
So you're available 7 days a week, right? For clients, being able to run around, make sure you see them, and you're constantly working. So when you're not feeding your children, Ubering them, organizing your household, cleaning, cooking, you're working, right? And you have to be able to just be on when it's time to be on. So that was a different shift for me. I had to change the way that I looked at my schedule. And then I had to get over the fact that I also needed to make time for myself.
Oh, that's the big one.
Because you're constantly at service for other people, your kids, your husband, your clients, everybody, you're at service. You're just servicing. And then all of a sudden you're like, I am exhausted and I need to have some sort of balance with myself. So it's helped me a lot to be able to have my gym time in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mentioned that before, like I need that in order to survive, and to be able to come out of it and look at everybody else and every other thing that needs to be done,
Yeah.
and be like, I can achieve that because I have a lot more
it's the way that
energy.
you fill your cup, right?
Yes.
And that's what I discovered is I had to learn ways to fill my cup so that I had the energy
Right.
and the wherewithal and the bandwidth to deal with everything that was in my life. Right. So instead of me trying to stretch myself out and do all of it, this was just my way. I was like, you know what? I'm going to let go of this plate over here. And now that leaves this hand free, and I can actually do this thing better, and I can focus a little bit more.
Right.
Right. So for me, I think it was more learning how to prioritize things.
Okay.
Right. And then from there, I could organize. So this is more important. I'm gonna focus on that. I'm gonna have these two things going instead of all six.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I don't know if that ever works for you or if that's something that that ever comes into play, but I know that really helped me a lot, is just kind of prioritizing order of importance and trying to remind myself that not everything is important. Like not everything has to get done right this minute. And I would make shorter lists for myself. So if I had a list, say, of 20 things, I would say, okay, that's 20 things over the week, not in one day. I used to keep a running list of like, here's the 20 things I want to do. And I would just keep adding to that list and just keep adding.
Right.
And every day I would look and it would never move because I would get stuff off the list, but then I would put more stuff on. So I'm always looking at a list of 20. And for me, it was very, very overwhelming. Right. So instead, I would look at the 20, say on Sunday, and say, these are the things that I want to get done all week. Here's something that doesn't need to get done until Thursday night. I'm going to look at it on Wednesday. Here's something that needs to be done. I need to pay this thing at the school by Friday. I'm not even going to think about it till Thursday night. I'll put an alarm in my phone, remember to pay off whatever, go onto the school online, and do that Thursday night. So that's kind of the way that I started shifting my life, is understanding that I could leave certain things a little bit longer. Yeah. And then I would only have 5 things to do on Monday, and I could actually maybe get all 5 things done.
Oh, that's amazing.
By Tuesday, I'm like, okay, I have another 5 things to do, but it just wasn't so daunting for me. And then I felt more successful. Like I actually felt that I was doing more and accomplishing it. Because like you, I'm more of a particular about finishing something once I start it.
Okay, me too.
I don't like to open 5 different tabs in my brain and leave them open all week. So that really bothers me and it overwhelms me because I keep thinking about it. So if I can organize things so that I don't open these 5 tabs until a certain day, then I can just focus on those things. I can actually get them done. I can put them away and then I can move on to the next task. So that was also helpful for me, just from sort of like that mindset perspective.
Got it.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of books that kind of help me just put some habits in play, like just certain habits that I do every single day.
Okay.
So for example, like if I need to clean my kitchen, right? I know it sounds crazy to say it, but I have to break it down in certain tasks. Like this day I'm going to clean out my fridge. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So I just, after I'm done doing something, I'll just do that one small task, and then there'll be a small task the next day and the next day till everything's done. And it's kind of like you're always doing something. But it's the little tasks that help, as opposed to I'm going to do this massive big thing and it's going to take me probably 8 hours to do. I just kind of focus on small tasks. So I look at my business that way as well. I look at my kids that way as well, things that I need to accomplish. Like I do all the small little tasks that help me kind of have that behavior habit, and I build that, right? It's inundating though when you're constantly at service to others, for sure. That it's hard to kind of turn your brain off. Yeah. So what do you do to turn your brain off? I would say
wine. No, just I meditate. Yeah. Okay. And I've made it a habit that I meditate for myself first thing in the morning. So that's just to get myself ready for the day. But what I do is all throughout the week, I have people that I sit with, and we'll do just like a little 10-minute online on Messenger, on Zoom or something. I'll drop in with them and we'll actually hold space together. Okay. It's kind of like when people maybe pray together. If you're religious, for example. I take that time so that every day of the week I have someone that I'm accountable to, that I have to show up and I have to actually turn my brain off for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it forces me to actually get present at least once a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you guys do during those 10 minutes? Just meditate together?
We literally just do some deep breathing exercises together. And then we'll usually just share a little bit about our day. So, it's 15, 20-minute kind of call.
Okay.
But 10 minutes of that is sort of in silence, in both of us actually focusing on our bodies and our breath, and then a few minutes to catch up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's been really, really helpful for me. And I find that whenever you want to do something and you want to stick with it, if you have someone that you're accountable to, makes such a big difference, right? You have to show up. Like, we're always going to show up for other people, even sometimes we don't show up for ourselves. I know that about myself. So if I have to show up for someone else, then it's in my calendar. The alarm goes off. I got to go, do this thing. And it's like anything else. It just becomes a habit for me. What about you?
I have that gym. in the morning. I have my little small accountability group with you. So I do try to do something physical. I have been working on meditating, but I just feel like there's a lot going on in my head. Like, I'm constantly just dealing with stuff in my head. So I'm working on it to try to calm and quiet my mind. But I think that happens to a lot of women, where we're just constantly go, and thinking about what needs to be done, right? So it can be very, tiring. And that's why ideally the best thing for that would be a vacation. Like a vacation somewhere, or to be able to just get up and, shut everything off.
Take a breather, for sure.
Yes, take a breather.
The one thing I tell people about meditation is that the purpose of it is not for you to sit and try to quiet your mind. The purpose is actually for you to sit in presence with yourself and allow the thoughts to pass through.
Okay.
So you're not trying to be resistant. You're not trying to be like, well, you be silent, quiet. You don't.
That's what I do.
Right?
Yes. When I meditate, I'm like, stop thinking about that. And then I'm just quiet for a second.
More about it.
And then I think more, and then I go silent again. It's, I'm constantly telling myself to not think.
Right. It's like a little child when you're like, shh, and they just get louder and louder and louder.
Okay.
That is what's happening in your brain. So
that is totally.
Don't need to.
Okay.
You can let the thoughts go in, and all you need to do is kind of bring your awareness back to the moment. You're like, oh, I'm thinking those things. Okay, let me see if I can focus on my breathing now for the next 30 seconds. And just focus on your breath, focus on something else, focus on white noise. I listened to binaural beats when I started meditating, because I needed something, because my thoughts were so loud. So I would listen to something like binaural beats, or just some, meditative music or something like that, so that at least it was kind of catching my attention. And so I could listen to that as a focal point. Right. So then I eventually learned how to just drop in and not need anything. But that was a great crutch, actually, for quite some time.
That's amazing.
Something guided. So maybe that'll help for you.
Maybe. Yeah. I'd take a vacation first.
Taking a vacation would be good.
But besides
My
that,
time would be great.
So besides meditation, what else would you recommend to women who are just inundated, lots to do, busy career woman? I need, something.
So I would say schedule the time for yourself, just like you schedule anything else. So literally put in your calendar, block off some time to do something that you enjoy.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be something quiet. If you enjoy, I don't know,
taking a hike,
you enjoy dancing, you enjoy music, you enjoy walking your dog, talking to a friend. I mean, going out for coffee, that's great. That's something, whatever fills your cup. I have a friend who loves going to rage rooms.
Okay. What's a rage room?
A rage room is where you go to this place.
Okay.
And everything in it is breakable. And you basically take a sledgehammer and you just break stuff.
I want to go.
Oh my gosh, it's the best thing. I can only imagine. I haven't done one, but she loves it. She swears by it.
Okay.
And so she does that every so often, because she just says, like, things build up, and she's like a mover and a goer, and I just need to do something with my body. And, hiking and working out sometimes isn't enough.
Okay.
So she's like, I need to
break some plates.
I need to break some plates. I need to break some glasses. So
I'd probably go in there and want to clean it all up with my OCD.
Yes, knowing you, yeah, you would.
And start brooming and mopping, and oh my goodness gracious. Axe throwing. Okay.
That would be
awesome.
fun. That would be really, really fun. So something that either moves your energy, gets you excited, or calms you down. I know a lot of people, I have friends who live close to the water, close to the lake, and they
Okay.
just go for a walk by the lake. Water is so soothing. Just like
Water is,
watching
yes.
water, being by the water and the lake and just sitting and kind of looking out on the horizon. Very, very good for your nervous system. Very calming.
Yeah. So in the end of, I guess in the beginning of our discussion and how I guess I would like to end it off is to say there's that 30% of the workforce back in the day was women. It's now 72, right?
Mothers.
Mothers. Back in the workforce, career women. Do you think that that's going to change at all? Or do you think that we are kind of headed in this direction where, I don't know. I mean, it is getting tougher. It's getting harder. You know, there's a lot of families who have multiple jobs and, you know, our children are basically not seeing us or, you know, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, it seems like it's climbing. So I think if women can maybe, you know, find ways to delegate some of the things in their lives or have help, like I have a wonderful tribe of women right now that I can go to if I need help. My kid needs a pickup. You know, we need, I don't know, something comes up, right? You kind of need to build a little bit of that tribe.
That village. It takes a village.
Yeah, to support you, right? It's not just about your kids, but it's also to support you. So people that can step in and pick up if you need, or carpooling with people, or having sleepovers, you know, just swapping kids once in a while, where like you're going to take kids for one weekend and then you're going to let them go somewhere else for another weekend. I mean, that stuff is really great. Family, if you have, I mean, I think it's wonderful if you have in-laws and family that can be supportive, where your kids love to go and visit.
Right.
Like even right now, my oldest will still sometimes go and hang out with her grandmother.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, stay over for a night and hang out with her for the day. And I think, you know, that's really beautiful. It's not always easy to have that.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that if you can also have supports, actual people supporting you in your life, that's very, very helpful. But I do think that it's going to be increasing. I can't see how we're going to have less women, less mothers working, especially with the way things are going economically right now.
Yeah, it is very tough.
And with work now, there's a lot of positions where you can work from home. There's a lot of flexibility and leeway with jobs. So it's hopefully going to be a little bit easier for people to be able to work, but also to balance it a bit more, you know?
Yeah.
You know, what do you think is going to be happening?
Well, I think that there's a lot of things that need to change, and that's really the larger picture.
Right.
I'm hoping that, you know, as a society, we are able to shift back to mothers being more involved in raising their children as opposed to being thrown back into the workforce. I know in the States, it's a little different than here. You get 9 to 12 months here with your child, hopefully, if you're, you know, if you can financially get that support.
Yeah, if you're employed here.
If you're employed here, generally, that's what you get. In the States, I think it's, you know, 5 to 6 weeks or something. Yeah, it's very short period of time.
Yep.
And I can't imagine, you know, what that would be like to just go back to work after 5 to 6 weeks. Like that's not enough time.
Baby? Oh my gosh, at home?
So I'm hoping that it does change. I'm hoping that, you know, there is a change so that moms can spend more time with their children. I think that's such an important, crucial part of a child's life. I know myself, I would have loved to raise my kids like full time for sure, at least until a certain age when I knew that, hey, I'm ready to get them out into the world. But yes, I think we should push for more moms to be able to, you know, stay at home, but at the same time, as career women, you know, and I like my career. I know you like your career as well. It's really, you know, we need some more support systems. We need our economy to get better, you know what I mean? So that we can actually, you know, have extra money to go on vacation and things like that.
And afford the $14 grapes.
Exactly. The grapes are $14. Come on now.
I know. It's
Yeah, we need to be able to have that. We need to have our systems work and play for us to be actually be able to benefit from what we're doing, because we are sacrificing a lot.
yeah.
We're sacrificing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy, but you know what? I think at the end of the day, you do the best that you can with what you have and what you know.
Yes.
And it always, like we've said before, everything starts with you.
Yes.
You are the center of your universe. Your perceptions, your thoughts, your actions are going to determine how you experience life.
Yeah.
So the
This is
best
true.
thing you can do is fill your cup, find the things that are going to be supportive for you,
100%.
whatever that
Yes.
is, and you double down on those. Like
Yes.
double down on the stuff that's going to really help you, because the more you have
Right.
to energy for yourself, the more you have to give.
Yeah.
Right? You become more efficient, you become happier, you're able to give more. And so you're just better all around for everyone else around you.
Yeah.
And your
Amazing. Exactly. So I won't be like a raging mom.
drinking wine all day.
I know, right?
I love it.
Yes.
Well, so with that, I guess that's it for today. We really hope that you continue to follow us. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more fun topics of discussion.